What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another M35 video. In today's video, I'm gonna try to fix everything that is wrong with this M35. Currently, it doesn't really start all too well and it doesn't idle very good at all. So like I said, we're gonna try to fix this vehicle in today's video so that I can post it up for sale and buy another car.
So this car makes some really weird noises with the blower motor, so I need to replace that as well. But I also need to replace the starter on it because it doesn't work. It'll turn on eventually, I just gotta keep messing with it, but that's something that needs to get fixed as soon as possible.
One hour later.
There we go. So yeah, we need to replace that for sure. Along with the starter, I'm also going to replace this headlight here on the driver's side. I'm going to go pick one up for 40 bucks and see if it works. Hopefully that's all that it needs. I mean, it needs the fender and the bumper and the hood, but that's all going to have to be at a later time. I just kind of want to make this a little bit nicer, drivable, fix the misfire that it has and the starting issue. Overall though, guys, it's not really a bad car now that it's in the sun. The paint is not in terrible shape. So the cool thing about these vehicles is a lot of the parts are interchangeable. So I have this G35 that I'm parting out. I'm just gonna take off the starter, put that one on this one so I can get this guy up and running good, or at least starting up good. And then I'm gonna look underneath to see if I see any issues. I suspect clogged catalytic converters, but I could be wrong. So I'm gonna at least start with that, and then we'll dive deeper to see what could be causing this guy to misfire. So I have the replacement starter here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this guy out of the way. Pretty straightforward to do this. There's just two 14mm fasteners holding it on, along with a 12mm that gives it power, and you can just sneak it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Alright guys, so I was able to change out the starter. I can see why they hadn't changed it. One of the bolts was rounded out, so I had to take the cats off so that I can put a special socket so I can remove the bolt, but I was able to get it off. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on. It doesn't have cats right now, so it's gonna sound loud, but I'm hoping that it doesn't misfire anymore. Sounds like it's still misfiring, so it probably has another issue. So I wasn't completely wrong, because it turns out one of the cats was broken apart. This one right here, you can't really see in there, but it is broken up quite a bit. You can probably see it there. There's nothing in there, so I don't know if this might have caused damage to the engine. It's possible. There is just a whole bunch of pieces broken apart in there. If you look at this bottom part, you can see what I'm talking about. So it kind of just broke apart. That's probably why the car wasn't running. You can kind of see some stuff in there too. So like I said, I'll try to look deeper into the problem, see if I can fix it. I'm gonna go ahead and let it turn on and idle for a bit, see how it continues to run. I might also check the spark plugs and coil packs, see if I find anything wrong there.
A lot of times when people change coil packs or spark plugs, they don't connect these guys the correct way, so that's what I'm doing here.
So I started taking things off on the driver's side, and I noticed that the coil packs, or at least the connections, are backwards. So this upper connection is mounted down here, right? And in fact, this needs to go over there.
So the problem that we are running into is that cylinder 6 is plugged in to cylinder 4, and cylinder 4 is plugged into cylinder 6, so they're backwards.
And the other one needs to go down there. So this is very common, a very common mistake that a lot of people make, because you know, you would assume that this one goes down here and this one would go over there, right? But it's the opposite. So I'm gonna swap these connections from here. I'm gonna just put them how they should go, and I think that should take care of the misfire. So I ended up fixing that. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the vehicle, see if it took care of the misfire. Fingers crossed. There we go, buddy. That's crazy, man. All it needed was just new cats, new starter, and to swap over the connections on the coil packs because they weren't on there right. Sounds good. All right, guys. So the vehicle is running like it should. I need to get some test pipes for this vehicle. I do have some on the other one, so I'm gonna probably toss that on this car to make it quieter. Because those cats, as you can see, you know, they're no good. I can't put those back on like that. But yeah, the misfire is gone. It's revving up good. Revs up like it should. Has plenty of power. So yeah, this car is pretty much fixed aside from the headlight, the fender, and the hood, which I don't think I'll replace that anytime soon. I'll probably just replace the headlight. So yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Since I fixed the misfire and the starter on this vehicle, I also wanted to fix the blower motor. Now, this blower motor, the bearing on it is bad. I'll go ahead and demonstrate here for you guys. Let's see if it turned on. It's rubbing. Double. But it's bad. So we'll go ahead and swap that out. Hopefully it's the same as the G35. This is the bad blower motor. It doesn't really spin freely. This is a good one. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this. It looks like it's the same as the G35 coupe, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this on, get rid of that noise. All right, so I got the blower motor installed. Everything fit, blows out nice and cool now. The noise is gone. Pretty easy.
So at this point, this vehicle was running and driving, but I noticed after I would drive it for like 10 minutes, it would start to overheat. So I decided to take the thermostat out, and well, there's actually no thermostat, so I replaced that with a new gasket as well. I ended up buying a pair of headlights for the M35. I picked these guys up for 120 bucks. These are not cheap, and as you guys can tell, I definitely need to replace it. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss these bad boys on and clean up the vehicle a little bit more. All right, guys, so it has been about 2 weeks that I've had this M35, and as you guys can tell, it looks a lot better than when I first bought the car. Now, it's not perfect. You guys can see that the fender and the bumper and the hood still have damage. I couldn't find any bumper or hood in the same color, so I just kind of decided to just post it up for sale like this. I did replace both headlights. And I did do some maintenance on this vehicle. I changed the oil, I did change the fuel pump, and then I also checked the injectors because it was having an issue with a slow, long crank start. So that ended up being that it had an aftermarket fuel pump, so by replacing that with OEM fuel pump, it fixed that issue. I also replaced the crankshaft sensor on this vehicle because it would also die on me randomly. And as you guys know, I also replaced the cats and I put test pipes because the cats that I did have were blocking the exhaust flow and it was causing the car to misfire. And we can't forget about the easy fix, which was swapping the coil packs around. That took care of the main misfire issue that we were having, and it took care of the performance issues. This vehicle has been a really good daily driver for me for these last 2 weeks. I've been driving it back and forth. I put like maybe 500 miles on this car, and it does have plenty of power. It doesn't even feel like it has 231,000 miles. So I hate getting rid of this car because it does have everything that I kind of want in a vehicle. It rides good. I don't have to worry about scraping. It has a very good audio system, has ventilated seats, pretty much anything that you can ask for in a cheap daily vehicle. And the paint is not too bad. So yeah guys, I'm gonna post this vehicle up for sale. By the time you guys are seeing this video, it's probably gonna be gone already. So don't try to message me about it because I'm pretty sure it's gonna sell quick. I'm not gonna ask for a ton of money just because it's a salvage title and it does have a lot of miles. And it does need to work still, so it needs a new windshield. I think it needs new tires eventually, and I think it will need like a sway bar link in the front. But that's something that the owner will have to address if they buy it. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to take you guys along with me fixing this M35. I mean, compared to how it was, it looks a lot better. I'm just glad that I'm able to, you know, fix these cars, keep them on the road, and somebody can use a good daily, and I feel like this car will be perfect for them. So if you guys did like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and stay tuned for more G35 content, M35 content, basically all your content relating to Infiniti. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.